Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, back again with another video, and in this video of our Go series, we're gonna learn how to install Go and run our very first program. In case you have watched the video somewhere else or maybe in some other courses where you have already know about the Go installation, I still would recommend you to watch this video because there is so much inside detail here that I really want to give. But in case you are in a hurry, I don't want to see the inside detail, just want to click, type the stuff. No, that's not the video for it. Feel free to skip this one if you are in a hurry. Now let's get started for rest of the audience who want to learn how to install efficiently Go in their computer system. First and foremost, go ahead and grab the tools. So we're going to download the Go. So we are going to talk about that in a second. Also, I want you to grab VS Code. That's going to be the tool for our choice. There are dedicated IDEs, integrated development environment, to write Go code. We probably are going to use in the very end of the course, while we'll be designing some later on stuff. And for the Windows users, please do yourself a favor and download the git bash. The command prompt that you're using directly right out of the box from the Windows is not that much efficient. It's a nightmare, let's be honest. So you really want something which is same for both of us, for Mac, for Linux, and for Windows user. And git bash is the answer of your question. So please go ahead, download the git bash, and it's going to give you a simple terminal where you can write the same command. So where you write dir to list all the directories, you don't have to do this anymore. You can write exactly same commands as I am writing, simply ls. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and get the git bash. We'll be using that only. Okay, so moving forward, I first want to download it. So whether regardless you are on a Mac or Windows, just click on this big button and it's going to give you the options. For Microsoft, it's a pretty easy installer. It's just MSI, the Microsoft installer. So it's just a click next, I agree, yes, okay stuff. A very easy one. For me also, it's comparatively easy. So I'm going to go ahead and save it on my desktop and we'll show you the process as well. So while it's downloading, it's a pretty small download, just 116 MB, so no big deal in that. So now let's go ahead and talk about that how the things are gonna work. So before we start the process of installation, we should know certain stuff and facts about this installation process. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So when you install Go, it's not just the Go is gonna get installed. There are a lot more tools that are given to you with the Go package. Some of the tools name are mod, the environment, the run, get, format, and a whole bunch of other things as well. Now, what are the role of these individual things? And there are a lot of roles. For example, the mod is designed something almost similar to, in case you have heard about the npm, we write a lot of time npm init to initialize a package directory or listing that what we are using in this project, what packages it is dependent on. Something similar to this is given to us in the mod. The environment obviously lists out the environment variable, which is super important in the Go. Apart from that, you get a lot of things like fmt, also known as fumt, but I'm not going to call that as fumt. I'm going to always call it as fmt. So we're going to see that. And you are going to see and notice that if we go back a couple of directories, you can see this fmt is being used quite a lot. And obviously, a lot of people mistake that this is just a formatting package to just print out the stuff or to have some formatting on the terminal. No, that's not. It does a lot more than that. In the Go, you're going to notice that the simplicity is being spoken about a lot. So what is going to happen? Some people like to write their code in this syntax, while some people like to write the code in this syntax. Go even take care of this as well so that everybody sees the code in the same format. And if you use the utility format, you can restructure your entire packages and code so that everybody just sees the exact same version of the formatted code. A lot of things are very fun and very fancy in the Go, and I love this feature. So moving back, similarly, we have Go get to get some things from the repository and a whole bunch of other things, and Go is super fun in that. So a lot of tools are given to you. And now let's talk about this environment. Now there are many environment variables being set for you by the Go. But there are two very much important, which are Go root and Go workspace. Now they are not exactly the same. For understanding purposes, I'm calling them as Go root and Go workspace. I'll tell you what exactly the name is as we move forward. The two important things that you have to keep in mind is Go root is where all the binaries to run the program are stored in the Go root directory, while the workspace is actually the folder where you put all of your code. And it's not like we can put the code just the way how we want it. Go tells you to specifically place and organize your code in a very strict directory structure that you should follow. But the good news is we're not going to be following that, because that directory structure is expected to be followed if you're pushing up your project in production or you are moving that onto a public repository where anybody can take advantage of your code. Rather, we are on a mission of first simplifying the things like loops and structures, and having these directory structure in every single file like loops and functions is not feasible for us. So we're going to understand this directory structure. We're going to dig up a little bit onto the code part, that how Go actually mentions that in the documentation. And yes, just like always, I'm going to force you to read a little bit of the documentation. I'll walk you through there, and that's how we are going to proceed. So moving forward, so how does this directory structure works? So according to the basic guideline of the Go documentation, first and foremost, you create a project. You can name it anything, Superman or Batman, doesn't really matter. Now inside that, you have to create a couple of directories. The first one is bin and the second one is package. So obviously the name specifies bin holds all of your binaries. The package, all of the packages that you're creating or you're getting from online are majorly stored in there, but not compulsory. And after that, we create the source in which our major code actually goes. But after this source is a little bit of a nightmare of creating these directory structure. But it is a long-term advantage. You first name the website or the repository where you're hosting all of the things, probably GitHub or any other repository where you're hosting all these things online. After that, you put out your username. Mine happened to be my name only. And then after you create your directory structures, either file name like main.go or hello world, inside that main.go. So this is the directory structure being specified by the Go itself, but we're going to take a bit of the depth of it. Now it's time that we simply install the Go, and I'll talk more about this, some of these directory structure and some of the inside details as well. So first, let's open this up. And there we go, my installer opens up. So in the Windows also, it's exactly same. We're going to hit continue, install, and it's going to ask me for password. I wish my keyboard would have a touch screen. I can lay my fingers on and it just reads there. So it's going to read it. Now, very importantly, if your terminal is open or your command prompt is open, please go ahead and you need to close that and start that again, so that all the variables or environment variables which Go is setting for you actually takes place. So it should be fairly fast for me. It's a pretty decent fast machine. And now in the meantime, we can just go ahead and it's almost done. So we're going to just simply close this. And now if I open up my terminal or command prompt, Windows users, this is the exact time you want to install the Git bash and want to run everything. So if I now check Go and check out the version of Go and I hit enter, it gives me a Go version. As of now, the latest for me is 1.137, but if you're using the later version, our code is going to be exactly same. These are the basics and should remain exactly same. Now, if I just run the Go and I hit enter, you can notice there are additional tools being given to me. Especially the commands that are given to me are bug, build, clean, doc, environment. So you can see there is a lot of list that is being given to us. Tool, version, which we have just used. And notice here we got FMT as well, which reformat the package source. Again, it's not just for printing the stuff, it reformats the entire package source. So everybody who's reading the code sees the exact same lines and exact same stuff in the exact formatting. So we're going to work on that as well. Now let's go ahead and try this env as well and talk a little bit more on that. So I'm going to just clean the screen and I'm going to simply say I want to work on env, or I want to just list all the environment variables in front of me. Okay, there's a lot going on. First and foremost, the Go root. This is the most important, and this is where this package has installed Go in my system. For Windows users, it's pretty simple. It's just C drive : Go. So pretty easy there. Now this is the most important thing. This will help you to run all the files. Now another interesting thing, if I can find it somewhere, is the working directory where you have got the Go. So if I can find it, there we go. There is the Go path. So Go path is the exact directory which I was talking just a moment ago. So if I go back up here, this is the one I was talking about, that we have Go root and Go workspace. So this is the exact directory I was talking about, and this is the workspace. So where is my workspace? There we go, Go path. So as of default, the Go path simply means this is the directory where you'll be keeping all of your files and you'll be working there. Now there are a couple of ways we can change this file and path and a whole bunch of other things, but we're going to do it easy way through VS Code. So just give me a second for that. Now let's go ahead, and I want you to read a little bit more on the Go documentation so that we can see how originally and professionally the document structure is being created. So we're going to go for /doc and then /code.html. So this is the link where you might want to visit. So how to write a Go code? Now they are saying that we are very much curious about the code organization, and you should organize your code in a nice structured manner. So just like we have seen, we have lots of programs like Go environment and Go all those stuffs. The one program that they ask you to use is Go mod. So as soon as you create the directory structure, which I have told you, like this is cd hello, then you have got a github.com, then a username, and then whatever your file name is, you really want to insert that path using Go mod init. This is very crucial if you're pushing your directory or repository on a public level. Okay. What this mod is going to do, it's going to create a simple file, go.mod, which is very similar to package.json in the NPM world. What it does, it gives you a module name and the entire, and this path is going to be later on useful for us if we are using go get command. But let's not go too much into that. That's too much detail for right now. And it also mentions the Go version number, which is very, very important. And after that, you can just create a file like hello.go. We're going to do that later on, but right now that's okay. And we can see all those stuff here. Okay, so that is all fun. That is all awesome. And then it also mentions that if you want to change the environment variables, you can go ahead and do that. But luckily for us, we are at a position right now that we can resolve a whole lot of these issues just within the VS Code. So that is the easiest path, both for Windows, both for Mac, and for Linux as well. But in case you want to look more on the environment variable, you can just go ahead, click on these links, and they give you an explicit detail about how you can have custom paths about Go workspace, or as the mention they say is Go path. I think this variable, if that would be Go workspace, that would be way more awesome, but I think they have done a better job what I can think for. Okay, so this is all good. Now we're going to create a directory structure there. So let's go ahead and do that through the terminal only. So we're going to go first and foremost on desktop, and I'm going to create a directory. So I'm going to name this directory as LCO golang bootcamp. I'm going to give a lot of these files to you attached with the lectures, so don't worry too much on that. And now we're going to go on LCO golang bootcamp. Inside that also, I'm going to create a directory. I'll be creating a whole bunch of these directories so that we can organize our code. I'm going to name this as 01 basics. There we go. And then we can just go ahead and simply move into 01 basics. I think I haven't set my code editor to just open up by saying code. Nope, it is not being set. I'll set that in a moment. So as of now, let me fire up my code editor. There we go. This is up here. And I can just drag and drop my folder. So where is my folder? Come on. There we go. And in the basics, we're going to go ahead and just fire this basics up here so that it opens up in my code editor. Now, the most important thing is you want to follow these things very closely. Make sure you follow that. Otherwise, you'll have some problems. Okay. Now, in the basics, I would like to organize the code in the basics like directly. I'm going to simply want to write a hello world.go program. I'm going to call this as simply hello.go. If I wrote it correct, I think so. Hello.go. Now, as soon as you're going to say .go, the IntelliJ inside the VS Code is like super powerful. So I'm going to hit enter, and notice at the bottom side it says Go extension is recommended for this file. I'm going to hit on install. So now it's going to go ahead and install this guy up here, but also the other pop-up is important, which says, hey, there are commands and utilities like go outline and a whole bunch of other, which is going to make our life much more easier rather than setting up the variables. We will do that later on when we'll be creating custom web projects and stuff. I want to click on install all. So go ahead and click on install all. As soon as you're going to do this, this is going to install a whole bunch of things for us. And we can see that we got a Go Play, Go Doctor, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, depending on your internet speed, this might take a little bit while, but it's obviously worth waiting here. Otherwise, we have to go through, manually install the stuff, manually export the path into our bash file, ZSH file, and maybe other things in the Windows environment variable and a whole bunch of other things. That is always a great way, but this is the easier way to go forward. So I'll wait for a couple of seconds till it does all the things. We can fast forward the video. So it says all tools successfully installed, you are ready to go. Okay, that's a great news. Now let's go ahead and see some of the stuff. Right now our file doesn't have any code. So we can take advantage of this, and we are going to go on to the main directory or the main home page of this. I'm going to copy from the package till the end of this file because we have already seen if we run this, this works. So let's go ahead and open that again. So there we go. And I can minimize this one. Okay, I'm gonna just paste this up here. Okay, looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and open the inbuilt terminal. By the way, you can open it up by using Control and the tilde sign just below your escape key. So just hit that and that's gonna be all it. Okay, so how we can run this? First and foremost, I need to save this. That's okay, pretty easy. And now in order to run this, all I have to say go and then run and then the file name. So in this case, my file name is just hello.go. If I run this, obviously this is gonna run. So now this is running because our environment variable and path are all set, thanks to, and a big thanks to all the tools that were installed by VS Code. I love it, by the way. Now I'm going to show you some one more fun stuff with that, and that's going to be very, very fun, and we're going to discuss about that later on in the course. So right now, let's just write just some fun code and see some strange things about this. So we're going to simply go ahead and do a simply var. I'm going to call this as simply score, and that's going to be of type integer. We're going to discuss that in detail, don't worry. I'm going to say just 4 here, okay? Now, in order to print this variable, all I have to do is remove everything from here and just have to say score. Pretty easy, pretty fancy stuff. Save that. And now go ahead and run this one more time. Expected result is going to come. It's going to say, hey, 4 is there. But now, interestingly, if I just remove this and I say hello again, and now if I save this, this is going to give me an error. And that is the very fun thing I love about this. So it says score declared and not used. Although we're not making any mistake, but if a variable is declared and not being used, it throws up an error even before compiling. So again, moving back onto the point, which is efficiency, simplicity, and reliability. I'm going to throw up a lot of such examples to prove that yes, this is a language designed for efficiency again and again. So I think that's enough. We have run our very first program in that, and I'm going to give you a lot of things. I'm going to just comment this for a moment, and we're going to talk about that later on in a whole detail. So in case you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that, and we're going to have so much of fun with Go in the upcoming videos. Catch you up in the next one.